Good Friday, everyone, and welcome to the weekend once again, and welcome to Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith with the weekend details of a chilly forecast in play here for the 7th of November 2014. Skies are either partly cloudy or clear across the region this morning, and the winds are beginning to howl in from the northwest and west. This morning they're averaging around 10 to 15 miles per hour, but we're seeing gusts already into the lower 20s. We can expect lots of wind today, folks, and lots of sunshine with broken cloud cover as well, and even some sprinkles during this afternoon in the chilly air mass. We're starting out with temperatures in the low to mid 40s and will remain in the 40s throughout today. Morning surface chart from weatheroanoke.com. A digital atmosphere software shows our cold front now well off the coast. Low pressure deepening off the southern coast of Maine this morning. And we have a weak trough axis which will be swinging on the back side of this. And this is producing some sprinkles, and the radar composite is actually showing some frozen precipitation in the clouds but not reaching the ground as the surface temperatures are still too warm. This trough axis will pass through the region with some sprinkles during this afternoon under a chilly west to northwesterly blustery flow across the region before high pressure begins to build into the east coast during tonight and tomorrow. 500 millibar analysis in water vapor from last night shows the cold front moving off the east coast, and here is our latest shortwave max on the westbound side of this. This is the trough axis that will be moving through the region. Plenty of mid-level and upper-level moisture still results in the upper levels of the atmosphere, so today is going to be predominantly a mostly cloudy day despite some mixed sunshine early this morning. Also, this is a very progressive flow as the polar jet. Here's our open wave now across Texas and Mexico that was evident last night. And this is our next disturbance, which will be a cold front moving through the region on Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, reinforcing some of the chilly air in place before modification takes place for Monday and Tuesday. But then we're going to go downhill from there. We have no flight delays currently this morning as of this broadcast. We have basically VFR conditions, a few MVFR conditions across interior northwestern New Jersey, southeastern New York, also out on Long Island, out into Connecticut, and across the Pocono region in Pennsylvania. The cloud cover is forecasted to vary between scattered to broken at about 3,500 to 5,000 feet. The broken ceilings at the same levels are expected through early this afternoon as an upper level disturbance moves across the region, passes over the region with some light rain showers possible between probably noontime, early afternoon, and toward evening. Clearing is then likely after that. A west to northwest wind already increasing from 6 to 12 knots should increase to 12 to 18 knots for much of the daylight hours. We're already receiving gusts starting in now to the 20s, and that will continue throughout the day. The wind speeds are forecast to diminish. Not sure if that came out, but variable to broken scattered clouds at 5,000 feet, and some light rain showers possible early this afternoon and early evening as the trough axis moves through the region. West to northwest winds already increasing to 12 to 18 knots during the daylight hours, gust into the 20s and lower 30s. Wind speeds are forecasted to diminish during tonight. Saturday VFR conditions, high pressure in control. Saturday night through early Sunday, mostly VFR, lower conditions possible and scattered showers, mostly north as a weak cold front is passing through the region. On Saturday night, early Sunday morning, moderate to high confidence of that. Late Sunday through Tuesday, VFR with high pressure, scattered showers possible later Tuesday on the northwest as the low pressure and cold front approach from the west. Right now at Newark Airport, it's 45, dew point 37, humidity 74%. The wind is west out of 280 degrees at 8 knots, visibility 10 miles, scattered clouds at 3,000 and 9,000. And we've got gusts going into the upper 20s for this afternoon out of the northwest, and with a broken ceiling at about 5,000 feet with VFR conditions. Philadelphia right now, 47, dew point 37. The wind is out of the northwest at about 12, and a few clouds at 4,000. Again, we could find a light rain shower or sprinkle through the region during this afternoon before the winds really start howling out of the northwest at about 25 knots in gusts this afternoon before diminishing during this evening, with just some high scattered clouds returning on a southwesterly flow by tomorrow morning. Very active weather pattern, progressive pattern coming up. VFR conditions in place. It will also be a busy day and evening on the coastal waters as well. Gale warnings in effect until around 10 o'clock for all the coastal waters out to 20 nautical miles. The greatest gale force gust will occur this afternoon between 3 and 9 p.m. this evening, with a gust could reach around 35 knots or greater, especially over the southern coastal waters and over the lower Delaware Bay. And then we drop the warnings off lower than 30 knots for the upper part of the Delaware Bay. Small craft advisories will continue until midnight for all coastal waters after the gales drop down. The wind speed's expected to drop down gradually tonight, and the seas will also respond. They'll be 4 to 6 feet today, and much of tonight. Waves on the Delaware Bay will be between 2 and 4 feet, approaching 5 feet near the mouth of the bay. And then high pressure and no marine warnings expected on Saturday. Saturday night, possible marginal small craft conditions with the passage of a weak cold front, and then Sunday through Tuesday, high pressure and no marine headlines in place. NAMWRF composite reflectivity forecast from Penn State's eWall site shows the broken ceilings this morning, becoming more overcast this afternoon as that weak upper trough passes through. A few sprinkles across the region, gusty northwesterly winds, temperatures holding into the 40s today, just about where they are now. And it's going to be chilly with a clearing sky overnight tonight. Partly cloudy mainly to the north and west, and clear everywhere else. Temperatures going down to near freezing, or even into the upper 20s by tomorrow morning as we lose the wind, and we have to lose the wind in order for those temperatures to get that low. Saturday is blossoming into a nice day, mostly sunny skies, a few high scattered clouds across the region, winds backing around to the southwest, and that means a warm front will be approaching, but not necessarily passing through the region. Here's our next cold front moving through the region, with clouds increasing by Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Cold front probably coming through during the early morning hours on Sunday, with a few showers associated with it, some light rain or sprinkles, and then we clear it out once again on Sunday with modification in temperature back into the upper 40s and low and mid 50s across the region, with nice weather indeed and lighter winds. And the Climate Prediction Center's branch is finally recognizing the anomalously cold air that's coming through the Central Plains into the southern plains and expanding east into the eastern United States. This forecast was made yesterday. It's valid November 12th through the 16th, going into a cold period here east of the Rockies. Wanted to use another product this morning, but unfortunately that product isn't loading. Maybe they have some server issues or high over traffic volume conditions on their website, so we can't show you the model that I wanted to show you, but we'll show you the same model in a different view. This is the GFS from the Next Generation Weather Lab, the College of DuPage. So storm system deepening in the Gulf of Maine and into the northwestern Atlantic. Strong northwesterly winds. Here's our upper level disturbance passing through late this afternoon, early this evening with a few sprinkles. And then high pressure ridges over the region. Very cold air mass in place for tomorrow as well. Temperatures generally running in the upper 40s across most of the region. Here's our next cold front, slicing through the region Sunday morning, reinforcing a colder shot. And skies return to sunny, and high pressure begins to build in across the region, keeps the storm system deflected in the polar flow, which is very active right now, out over the coastal waters. Things get quite interesting early next week as we make a run for another disturbance entering the Great Lakes and the St. Lawrence River Valley by early next week on Tuesday and Wednesday, drags a warm front and then a cold front through the area. Once the cold front moves through, guess what? That's the end of temperatures anywhere in the 50s or 60s. We drop down into the 40s and we remain on the chilly side with that piece of cold energy across Canada and the Great Lakes spreading east with strong Canadian polar high pressure in place. And things get interesting for the mid to the late part of next week as the GFS and the European model is indicating some kind of a coastal storm developing here off the Carolina coast by late next week. And that means that we could have a cold, chilly rain around here. Very cold, chilly rain indeed, especially coastal sections of the Delmarva and south and east of Long Island, as this storm also bears watching. Further to the west, any kind of deformation and a cold air mass like this would lead to some snow mixed in, but right now it looks like a very cold, chilly rain, especially for coastal regions during Friday night and Saturday of next weekend, and then more high pressure builds in across the region for the early part of next week, but very chilly air mass in place. We can see the 540 thickness, the 540 A 540 thickness line, 5400 thickness line here is an indicator of how cold the surface air temperatures will be. And the thicknesses of the atmosphere actually indicating strong cold Canadian high pressure takes control from the mid to the late week with a storm potential for next weekend. We'll be monitoring that. And then just a cold, chilly air mass as we climb down and get ready going towards Thanksgiving. So get out your winter gear because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. For everything live, it's Garden State Weather and gardenstateweather.blogspot.com. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You make it a pleasant Friday and a great weekend. Bundle up out there and get ready for some cold weather is coming our way from midweek next week on, through the mid to the late part of November. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. We'll be back in video form on Monday morning for everything live, Twitter, Facebook, and gardenstateweather.com.